A case opens with an American detective named Erin arriving at a fresh crime scene. She shows up looking worn down since she spent the previous night drinking far too much. Her team explains that the victim has no identification and died after taking 3 bullets from a .38 caliber weapon with a red grip and no serial number. The gun is lying right beside the body. Scattered nearby are a few bills stained with purple explosive dye, and there are no witnesses who saw what happened. As Erin examines the body, she notices a small tattoo on the back of the man's neck, 3 circles arranged in a pattern that clearly rattles her. In that moment, the past finally catches up with her. This is Destroyer. A few weeks earlier at the police station, Erin received an envelope filled with money stained with that same purple dye. She had stored it in the evidence room, then driven straight to see an FBI agent named Gil. While she was on the road, a glimpse of her own neck revealed that she once had the exact same 3-circle tattoo as the murder victim. At the FBI office, Erin told Gil that the money came from a Palm Springs bank robbery carried out 17 years ago by a violent gang. Back then, Erin and her partner Chris had gone undercover inside that gang. She believes their old leader Silas is active again. When the dyed bills were checked, their serial numbers matched the original robbery linked to Silas and his crew. Not long after, Erin tracked down an illegal gun dealer named Taz, who she suspected had supplied the murder weapon. She demanded a list of his buyers. When he refused, she grabbed his bag packed with firearms and threatened to keep it until he cooperated. She then asked her colleague Antonio to keep an eye on her, knowing Taz and his men might come after her for disrupting their business. The story then shifts to the past. Erin and Chris are shown planning their undercover identities, posing as a couple so they could blend in with the gang. Early in the mission, the police got a lead from an informant whose cousin Toby was part of Silas's crew. Once Toby trusted them, Erin and Chris were invited to a party where they finally met Silas face to face. Back in the present, Erin visits Toby, who is now extremely ill and living with his mother. He had been released from prison because of his condition. Erin asks about Silas, but Toby claims he does not know where the man is. The only help he can offer is pointing Erin toward another former gang member, Arturo, who now quietly provides free legal aid to immigrants inside a hidden office at a church. On her way home, Erin's mind drifts back to one of the most disturbing moments from her undercover days with Silas' crew. She remembers the whole gang lounging around in a living room when Silas casually ordered Arturo to play Russian roulette with a small weapon loaded with 3 bullets. Arturo froze in shock, but he had no choice. In front of everyone, he reluctantly lifted the gun and took his chances. By sheer luck, he survived.
Oh.
Silas found the whole thing hilarious, laughing like it was nothing more than a party game. Back in the present, Erin sits alone in a bar, drinking again, when she gets a call from her friend Ethan. He tells her that her daughter Shelby has not come home for several days. Shelby is 16. Ethan eventually became her adoptive father, trying to give her the stability Erin could not. Hearing the news, Erin rushes out to find Shelby. She finally spots her, and to her shock, Shelby is getting intimate with Jay, a much older boyfriend. The sight sends Erin into a fury. Shelby is still underage, and Erin reacts on instinct. She confronts Shelby, and out of frustration, she even strikes Jay to make him back off. Erin urges Shelby to come home, but Shelby refuses. The bar owner steps in to break up the commotion, and when Erin flashes her badge, he barely reacts. To him, she just looks like a drunk causing trouble.
You gonna tell me about the law? In your fucking bar!
Let's go. Out. I don't care.
The next morning, Erin meets Ethan and explains that Shelby has been staying at her boyfriend's place. She also fills him in on the murder case and the 3-circle tattoo that ties everything together. Later, Erin meets Shelby at a coffee shop and tries again to bring her home to Ethan and get her back into school. Shelby brushes her off. There is too much resentment, too much hurt from Erin's past mistakes. When Jay shows up, he openly insults Erin in front of Shelby, then walks out with Shelby following him, ignoring Erin's desperate cries for her daughter to come home and get her life back on track. Soon after, Erin pushes forward with her investigation. She heads to the church where Arturo secretly runs his legal clinic. The moment Arturo spots her, he panics and bolts, assuming she is there to arrest him. Erin manages to catch up and tells him she only needs information about Silas. Just like Toby, Arturo claims he has no idea where Silas is. The only lead he can offer is a lawyer named DeFranco, someone Petra, Silas's girlfriend, still works with to launder their money. With that new lead, Erin heads straight to DeFranco's luxurious home. She confronts him, revealing that she knows he has been laundering money for Silas and his old crew. She also suspects Silas is preparing to restart his operation because the stolen cash from the Palm Springs robbery 17 years ago is almost gone. DeFranco counters by bringing up Erin's own failures, reminding her how she botched the Palm Springs case and spiraled into guilt and alcohol until she became unrecognizable. He points out that her daughter refuses to live with her because of it. Erin swallows her anger and demands to know where the next money drop will take place. When DeFranco refuses to say anything, Erin snaps. She attacks him, but at that moment his bodyguard storms in, grabs her gun, and drags her toward the bathroom. Erin fights back with everything she has, manages to overpower him, and gets her weapon back.
All right.
She then turns on DeFranco again, beating him repeatedly and holding him at gunpoint. Faced with the threat, he finally admits that Silas is running out of money and reveals the location of the next drop for Petra. Armed with that information, Erin decides to tail one of DeFranco's men from a distance during the exchange, warning DeFranco not to interfere or she will take everything to the FBI. The next day, Erin visits the hospital. Shelby is there with a broken arm after a fight at a bar while she was with her boyfriend. When Erin asks what happened, Shelby claims she does not remember which bar it was. Seeing her daughter injured sends a wave of anger through Erin. She tells Shelby to come home, but Shelby refuses and insists on staying with Jay. Shortly after, Erin keeps watch from afar as DeFranco's man meets Petra for the money handoff. When the meeting ends, Erin follows Petra's car to a house where Petra goes inside with one of her friends. Instead of rushing in, Erin waits outside, watching and planning her next move. As she sits there alone, memories of Chris creep back into her mind. She thinks about their time undercover, how they pretended to be a couple, and how their real feelings slowly grew into something genuine. The next morning, Erin watches Petra leave the house and quietly follows her. Petra's car stops near a building, and Erin soon realizes what is happening. Petra is gearing up to rob a bank with 5 men wearing wolf masks. As Erin studies the group, she notices one of them has hair that matches Silas's old description. She immediately alerts the police and tells them to approach without sirens so they can catch the crew off guard. Erin grabs a rifle from her trunk and enters the bank with 2 officers. A fierce gunfight breaks out. 3 of the robbers go down, but 3 others manage to escape. Petra slips away into an ice cream shop and blends in as a customer. Erin tracks her down within moments, attacks her, drags her out the back door, and throws her into the trunk of her car. She hides Petra on purpose, not wanting anyone else to know that her real goal is Silas. Erin drives straight to the old hideout used by Silas' gang and cuffs Petra inside. She ignores repeated calls from other officers trying to reach her. Erin tells Petra that she is hunting Silas because he and his crew are back to pulling jobs and she is determined to stop them. Moments later, Silas calls Petra, promising to send the location of the next heist. Erin grabs the phone and leaves Petra locked up and alone. Her mind drifts back to her old conversations with Chris, to a time when they were undercover and tempted by the money the gang had stolen. They already had enough evidence to put Silas away, but the lure of fast cash was strong. Erin gave in to that temptation. She kept part of the stolen money and hid it all in a secret storage unit. Back in the present, Erin is overwhelmed by guilt. She asks Ethan to take all the money hidden in her storage unit, nearly $500,000, so he and Shelby can move somewhere safer and start fresh. Ethan refuses. He says the money is stolen and he does not deserve it. His refusal pulls Erin back into another memory, a moment from the past when she discovered she was pregnant with Chris's child. Erin then heads to her secret storage unit. When she opens the bag of stolen cash from 17 years ago, she is shocked. Almost all of it has been ruined by purple dye from the explosive packs planted during the robbery. Only about $11,400 remain clean enough to use. With that small amount, Erin goes straight to Jay. She hands him the money on one condition. He must leave Shelby for good and never contact her again. Jay accepts without hesitation. Erin does it because she wants Shelby to return to Ethan's home and get back into school where she belongs. On her drive back, Erin's mind drifts to the robbery she and Chris witnessed years earlier, while undercover with Silas's crew. The plan had been simple. 2 cars, Erin behind the wheel, and enough evidence to arrest Silas and his gang once the job was done. But everything fell apart the moment Silas opened one of the bags and found the cash soaked in purple dye. Enraged, he stormed back into the bank and killed the employee who planted the explosive pack. In the chaos, Chris accidentally revealed himself as a police officer and tried to stop Silas at gunpoint. The standoff turned into a shootout, and Chris was killed. Silas fled with Petra and Arturo and took several bags of money with him. In the other car, Toby held Erin at gunpoint, forcing her to crash the vehicle. Toby was badly injured, but Erin survived, devastated by what had happened. With Chris gone, the entire undercover operation collapsed. After the incident, Erin hid the stolen money in her secret storage unit and reported the mission as a failure. For years, the weight of that day crushed her. She drowned her guilt in alcohol, haunted by the belief that she could have saved Chris if she had moved sooner instead of freezing in fear. 17 years after everything fell apart, Erin finally tells Shelby the truth. She explains that Shelby's father, Chris, died because she failed to save him. She apologizes for the years she spent lashing out, for the anger Shelby absorbed when she was young, and for all the ways she fell short as a mother. Even so, Erin believes Shelby will grow into someone far better than she ever was. Before leaving, Erin tells her daughter that she loves her with everything she has. Shelby is left in silence, heartbroken as she watches her mother walk away. Inside her car, Erin reads a message Silas had sent to Petra's phone. It reveals the location where Petra was supposed to meet him next. When Erin arrives, Silas is already waiting. He had expected her, knowing she would eventually come for revenge. He admits that he was the one who sent the envelope of purple-stained money to the police station, all to provoke her into resurfacing. Erin does not hesitate. She shoots him repeatedly, ending the man responsible for Chris's death. In the present timeline, the unidentified body from the beginning of the story is finally revealed to be Silas. Erin had planned every step from the moment she received that envelope. The gun she used was the stolen weapon she took from the illegal arms dealer. After the shooting, Erin returns to her car as her colleague Antonio arrives. She hands him an envelope containing Petra's location and the key to her secret storage unit, where she has kept the purple-stained cash. It is everything the police need to close the case. When Antonio leaves, we finally see the extent of Erin's injuries. Her abdomen is badly bruised from the attack by DeFranco's bodyguard and the fight with Petra at the ice cream shop. Erin never treated those wounds, and now her body can no longer keep up. She grows weaker and eventually dies inside her car. In her final moments, her mind returns to the people she loved most. Memories of Chris, memories of Shelby, every tender moment replaying gently in her head. Those memories are the last thing she holds on to before everything fades away. So the moral of the story is, if your life starts looking like a mix of bad tattoos, purple money, and terrible ex-gang friends, maybe just take a nap and rethink your decisions before everything explodes again.